Okay, again, guys, if I could have a show of hands and a name and organisation for the question, please. And Mikel will answer questions in English. Is that the mic, please?
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
Can we just ask how disappointed is Pep not to be on the touchline tomorrow night? And how, for you, do you feel about the opportunity, and being on the touchline and taking charge of the team?
Obviously, he's very disappointed. We all know how much the Champions League mean for him. Obviously, it's the first match, and it's vital for the group stages. But he had a reaction to something that happened in a big game, when they made a decision. He respects the decision. And this is the situation, He wouldn't choose this situation, but this is what is happening. I'm here. I will try to make my best, to try to reduce the impact of not having Pep on the touchline. But for the rest, everything is absolutely normal.
Okay, Luke Edwards, Daily Telegraph. Manchester City have a fantastic 12 months, absolutely dominant domestically in the league. To be a great team, though, do they have to win the Champions League? Do they have to have success in Europe?
Well, that's the aim. We have a very young squad. I think they've gained a lot of experience in the last 2 years with the different things that happened in Champions League, and we feel that we are better prepared than the previous 2 years. But the Champions League, winning or losing, is small details, and we are preparing every single detail to improve what we've done in the past, because we believe that we can do better. And tomorrow everything starts. It's a new competition, and we know how hard it is to play against the teams in Europe.
Mikel, hi, it's Martin Ziegler from The Times. When you look Manchester City, I think it was spent more than any other club on assembling this squad in terms of transfer fees. So that's probably why many people are regarding that City as the favourites to win the Champions League. Does that make it more difficult for the players if they have this expectation?
I don't believe that that's the reason why the people think that we can challenge against the top teams. I think the reason is because how consistent we've been in the way we play and the way we play against big teams as well in this competition. But after, again, it's a very, very difficult competition, and tomorrow I'm sure we'll face a very tough game again.
Mikel, during the summer there was a lot of talk about you and that you may leave to go to Arsenal or another club. Do you have ambitions to be a manager in your own right? You are one of the biggest clubs in Europe now. You're competing for the big honours, but you are not the manager, you're the assistant manager.
First of all, I'm privileged to be where I am. I feel very fulfilled with the job I'm doing at the moment. If you ask me the question, if in the future one day I will be a coach, the answer will probably yes, but I'm really happy where I am, and I'm really enjoying the moment that I'm living at the club. And I think we are in a fantastic momentum now, and there is still a lot of room for this club to grow. So I'm very pleased where I am.
Mikel, Ian Irving from Premier League Productions. What's Pep like to work with?
Really good, really easy, very hands-on. It leaves room for everybody to express themselves, very detailed. And I know him for a long time, and we got brought up from Barcelona with the same mentality, with the same philosophy, so we clicked together really well, and for me it's very easy to work with him.
Just a quick question as well about injuries. Sergio Aguero came off, I think, with a foot problem at the weekend also. Benjamin Mendy missed the match as well. Can you give us any update on those players?
We will have the training session now. We will wait how they reacted in the last 24 hours, and we'll make a decision afterwards. So at the moment I can't give you any answers.
They're back in training though, both of them?
We'll have the training session and see how they are today after training.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Mikel. Stuart Brennan, Manchester Evening News. Last season, you qualified early for the Champions League. How much of a help do you think that was in the season?
Very much. Obviously, winning the first game as well is a massive help. We did that against Feyenoord away from home, which was even more important. But again, it's a tough group of stages where we've got. We know the clubs. We know Shakhtar really well. We had a chance to play against them last season, and we know how difficult they made it against us. But obviously, if you can qualify early, it takes a lot of pressure off. You can rest players for the Premier League and the other competitions. But it's the first game, and today we have to be 100% focused to win it.
Could I also ask, how will it work tomorrow night? Will you take full charge of the team and Pep will just take a step backwards, or how will you work it out between you?
Up to now, the preparation has been completely normal, same process that we always do. The difference tomorrow will be that obviously there are some rules that we will respect, where you cannot have any communication. I will be in the touchline and I will try to do and have the right decisions, and for the rest, nothing will change.
Paul?
I think my question's already been asked, but I was going to say, are you surprised that Manchester City have been made favourites for this competition?
I am surprised when you have a team that's won it 3 times in a row, but that means that we're doing the things really well, you know, that people are really seriously thinking that we are candidates to compete against other teams in Europe, and that's it. That has to be a motivation, not a pressure, and that's the way we take it. And hopefully, again, we can improve what we've done in the last 2 seasons because we came short.
Hi, Mikel. Jack Gorn from the Daily Mail. How much are you yourself relishing tomorrow? Because it must be a big night, big moment for you.
It is. It's a good challenge, very nice challenge. Obviously, if I had to choose, I would choose Pep to be in the touchline because he does that job better than everybody else. But the people on the bench and myself, we try to reduce the impact, give the players what they need, make the right decision, give them the energy that they need to support them on the pitch, and hopefully it will work well.
What has the manager done for you for your coaching career? Because obviously you're very close, and he always has a lot of positive words to say about you. But what are you kind of learning from him?
He had a very clear role for me when he asked me to join the club, because I was in the Premier League for 15 years, and we knew from before, and we clicked together really, really quickly. We understand each other really well, and we think in the same direction, you know. So obviously my learning here in the last 2 seasons has been incredible alongside him and the players and the staff we have, and that will continue always.
Hi, Mikel. James Robson from The Standard. During the documentary, Pep said at one point to the team he thinks they're the best team in the world. Is that the feeling at this club?
That is. For me, we have the best players in the world, and I look at our players like they are the best, and I see them training every day. I see how they behave, I see how they react against positives and negatives. I know their qualities and I know their weakness, and I wouldn't change my players for any others. You know, they are absolutely fantastic. The group of players we have, the mix we have between senior players and young players, the hunger that there is still in this group is incredible. People talk about other things, like because we have the money to spend, people have to see what is inside this club and the spirit that is being created, which is phenomenal.
And given what happened over the summer, did you think that you'd be here now? Or did you think you'd be
in football, it's so hard to predict things. Obviously, when things happen, you have to make decisions, and sometimes you don't have time to make the decisions. The decision was made, and I'm so happy with the decision that was made, and I'm, again, very privileged to be where I am.
Hola. Buenas, Mikel. Paul Vallós. It looks like maybe more than ever, like a lot of top European clubs are preparing more than ever to face this Champions League. Juventus has made like a record investment. Atletico de Madrid as well. Real Madrid are the champions, and Messi said that Barcelona are especially focused on the Champions League. In your opinion, which are like the main candidates for this trophy?
It has to be Real Madrid. They have something special toward this competition, and they deal with every single detail better than anybody else in these competitions. And for me, they are the main favorites. The rest, we have to catch up, we have to learn, and we have to make that gap smaller, you know. But I think it's a very open Champions League. I think it was the case last season, and I think it will be the case this season, and there will be surprises because the difference between the teams is not that big.
Last couple guys just here.
Mikel, Ben Ransom from Sky Sports News. You mentioned there that you're so happy that you stayed here after the summer. Can you let us know, how close did you come to leaving to join Arsenal? Was it a close thing?
I didn't talk on that moment 2-3 months ago, and I didn't make any statement. I don't think today is the day to talk about it. You all know some things that happened, but the reality is that I'm here and I'm very happy.
You mentioned the team came up short in this competition last season. What lessons do you as coaches and players take from that, and what do you need to do differently this season to go all the way? As you said, that's the aim. So
there are many aspects. You have to get to the important moments with your players available. You have to pay attention to every detail. You have to be lucky with some of the decisions. You have to have players hitting top form on those moments. You need a lot of ingredients to be able to win the Champions League. And on some of them we came short for one way or the reason. Maybe it was our fault, maybe it was others' faults, but we didn't manage to get where I think we could reach, with the level of football we played last season in this competition. But that's what this competition takes. In the moment you make a mistake, 5 minutes of no attention, you are out.
Hi, Mikel. Sam Lee from Goal. Similar to that, and you mentioned earlier on that you've improved every single detail. So it must go very specific. Are there new things you've introduced this season, maybe passing combinations, that kind of thing, that are particularly useful in Europe, or you think will be useful in Europe?
Well, we are always adapting and evolving the way we play, because depending on the players we have available and the new signings we have, for players that are leaving, we have to change the systems. And as well, because we can be predictable as well. All the teams now, they have the technology, they have good coaches, everybody to pick the things that you do. So we always have to find the variation to surprise the opponent, and we are always trying to evolving, innovating, and trying to do things that the opponents they don't expect us to do.
Mikel, I was interested, you picked out, you said Real Madrid are the main favourites, because many people might say that now Cristiano is gone, that's seriously weakened them. Do you not think that's the case?
They won the competition as well without Cristiano, I think 10 times. But obviously, yeah, it was a massive weapon, and he was top scorer every year in that competition. But I don't know, it will be tough for everybody, I think.
Okay, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, good afternoon.